Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of The Cure for Cowardice. Now, I just made a video, and I don't think that I explained my point the way that I wanted to, so I wanted to remake it here quick. Okay, it is charging. I had a dream last night, which is kind of funny because for the longest time I didn't have dreams, but I had a dream last night where I feel like the moral of the story, or what the dream was trying to teach me, is that it is okay to be the strong and powerful, and one might even say mean person in situations if you are doing it in service of someone else. Now, this is tricky, obviously, because how do you determine when is a justified time to exert your will on others? And I think safety is a great example. If somebody is doing something where they're going to be a significant harm, they always say significant harm to themselves or others. I probably wouldn't intervene if they were going to be a harm to themselves, like, not physically anyway. I would definitely warn them and I would try and talk them out of it. But unless they're one of my loved ones, in which case I have a selfish drive to make sure that they're okay. Unless they're one of my loved ones, I'm probably not going to physically stop them if they are a harm to themselves. But a harm to others, that's a completely different story. So that would be one example. Another example would be where I think corruption in general is a great example. It's like if somebody is truly corrupt and objectively, not just by your own definition, and their actions are leading to very bad things for a great many people, and here's the caveat, you've tried other ways to fix the situation and none of them have worked, then at that point I would say that it's justified. But again, this is tricky. This isn't something that there's exactly a handbook for, and you need to be able to stand your ground and you need to be able to defend yourself. But if you go around exerting your will on others just because you feel like it or because you feel like you should be able to, that is a great recipe for tyranny, and it gets bad real quick. And then somebody else would, in that case, rightfully so, exert their will onto you so that they can remove you from power, so to speak. So, all of this to say, being the in that person's eyes, you would be being the bad guy. But exerting your will, being strong, and making things happen, even if it's through the use of force, can be very, very good for the world, as long as it is in the right circumstance, and as long as you only use it when it is absolutely necessary. So, I think that about sums it up. That's one of my many missions for myself, is to stand my ground when I need to, but only when I need to. Because I've been on both sides of it, where I do too much or when I do not enough. And I think that if we all were able to stand our ground when we need to, I think we would be able to solve a lot of the problems that we face in our day-to-day lives. Now, also, when I'm talking about exerting yourself, standing around, blah, 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 I want to be very clear. It depends on the situation for the extent to which you do that. And very rarely does that mean walking up and attacking somebody. Most of the time, I would say what that means is telling them what they did wrong and what they need to do differently, and standing your ground on it. And they'll give you some pushback, but if you have valid reasons, and if they're even remotely logical, then they'll listen to you. However, if they are not logical, they probably will get angry, in which case, you need to stand your ground even more. And so, if and when they are angry, and they are now becoming even violent, for instance, because you are standing your ground and you're not backing down to them, that would then be the situation where once they act, you can defend yourself. But you want to be very careful that you're not overdoing it, and you want to be very careful that you are only doing it when really necessary. Because that's the thing about violence and influence and power and all that type of shit. It can be addicting. You can get hooked on it real fast. And that's a very, 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 very bad place to be. So anyway, I think this one came out a lot better, so I'll catch you all on the flip side.